to the show. H-bomb in the lab, cook it, feel on screen. Zesty vibes loud, turn cringe to a meme. All your filters off, it's a wild reveal. One edit from me and the fiction gets real. Zesty Phil.
This wasn't the stream, you idiot. This was real life. This was an in-person event that you hold that you're legally responsible for. And your response to what happened is, oh, you could just ban them on your stream. This guy is the head of Twitch. He's literally numero uno. Let's continue.
It's very different, when I use other short form content and people say all sorts of stuff, well, I can't stop that. But when I live stream, they basically don't bother me. Now, what happened yesterday obviously was something that we care deeply about securing this environment. We're looking very closely at everything that happened there, and I care deeply about Emmy. She's a friend of mine, and so I want to see how we can support her. This is just something we have to keep working on. I think everyone identifies our tools in terms of trust and safety as the leaders in the industry about helping creators, but that means that
he just said the trust and safety team at Twitch is the industry leader for helping creators. He just said that. But again, he literally just said it's unfortunate what happened to her in real life, but our trust and safety team on Twitch is the industry leader. What is he talking about? The question was literally, what are you going to do in the future to protect your creators at TwitchCon? He then says, on Twitch you can ban people you don't want in your community, and our online trust and safety team is the industry leader. What the fuck is he talking about? This is the head of Twitch. Literally, he has nothing to say.
there's always more work to be done, because that's the world we live in now.
Demi had posted earlier today that I guess this fan was allowed to cross multiple barriers at TwitchCon. Why should streamers trust Twitch to keep them safe at TwitchCon? Because I feel like simultaneously this has been such a secure event to the point that even journalists have had struggle. It is very secure. But here's this fan that just walks up and is somehow able to bypass all these things. So why should they trust the platform when slip-ups or, issues like this have happened?
Well, I mean, Ed, I think you toured some of what we do in terms of security. The reality is, even as you do a lot in terms of security in today's world, there are challenges that can present themselves, especially when someone is put...
He's still not saying anything. He's answered the question 3 times and has said nothing yet. We're still waiting for an actual answer.
Being themselves out there, right? And so, we try to work very closely with each creator about what they want to do and what works for them, right? So I don't want to get into any, specifics or details, but part of that is working with creators and, trying to find them. Right now, we're definitely,
So basically what he's saying is it's her fault because they worked directly with the creators and they were okay with whatever was there, and obviously wasn't enough to stop the guy, so it must have been her fault, right? Folks, this is the head of Twitch. This is the guy who, when you stream on Twitch, you're lining his pockets with money that you earned. Because if you're streaming on Twitch, that's your content, that's your originality, that's your community. You should be profiting, but you're giving him half your money. This guy who doesn't have answers, doesn't know what's going on, doesn't care, is completely out of touch with reality, and doesn't actually run a legit business. This is the same guy who protects terrorists, who protects racists, who protects animal abusers. This is the same guy who allows sexualized content to be on the front page of his website directly in the eyes of minors. He doesn't care about any of that because all he cares about is your money. He's a scumbag. Okay? This man, Dan Clancy, is a grade A slimeball. He shouldn't be in charge of Twitch. He shouldn't be in charge of a fucking 7-Eleven. He's a piece of shit. Okay? And I can say that wholeheartedly, alright? Because I've seen Twitch get more and more degraded over the years and fall apart at the seams. It used to be a website about game streaming. It used to be a website about content. Now it's about money. I don't care what you actually broadcast as long as we make money. That's essentially his mantra, okay? And he tries to but it's all about self-expression. It's all about the snow. It's about money. Because people can't self-express themselves on his site unless they're in line with his philosophy on life. There's numerous cases where the rules are not actually enforced properly, where someone who has a certain mindset or has a certain political stance it's banned or gets removed from being able to have financial monetization of their content. But then someone else who's of a mindset he likes gets completely protected from everything. 100%. So, this guy's a scumbag, and here's the truth, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. Anyone who has morality, anyone who has a right mind, anyone who actually cares about doing a professional business should not be streaming on Twitch because they are not professional. They don't care about anything but money. So as long as the money rolls in, why would they care? Unless Emiru sues the living shit out of them for what just happened to Twitch, why would they ever care about changing for the better? She was interviewing this guy distinctly about this topic. He has 3 times not answered the question, and he will get off, walk away, and no one won't be in trouble for this. Now, what if this guy had walked up and stabbed her in front of everyone, just slit her throat? That very well could have happened. And you would have been like, well, we work with the creators for the security. Unfortunate that happened. Maybe she should have banned him on a stream. What? So, yeah, I'm sorry. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I'm never going back to Twitch. Under no circumstance whatsoever will you ever see me streaming on that website, period. Even if it means that every other site has banned me, I will never go back to Twitch. I will not stand for this kind of behavior at all. This irresponsible piece of shit. Alright, he's a scumbag. I will never, ever make a piece of content that he will benefit from ever again. Alright, and anyone who is in their right mind needs to do the same. Okay? Seriously. Anyone who's in their right mind right now, this is the tipping point for Twitch. They have now shown distinctly that business does not care about you. They don't care about what content's on their site. They don't care about the protection of their creators, nothing. They don't care about anyone besides the money. So he's literally saying that, okay? Time to leave. I mean it. And here's this weird misconception that people have about Twitch. Well, the reason I stream on Twitch is because there's discoverability and because it's the place where I can get seen and I can make money. Not anymore. Twitch is not a place where you can be discovered. Twitch is not a profitable place. Twitch pays you less than every other streaming site. You make more on YouTube. You make more on Kick. You make more on Rumble, for God's sake. You make more everywhere. Except Twitch is the worst place to stream. They will always put garbage content to the forefront so that they make more money. They won't help you. They won't protect you. They don't care about you. Whether you're a creator, whether you're a gamer, whether you're just a watcher, a viewer, they don't give a shit. They will allow their top talent to be assaulted and then brush it off like nothing happened. So stop with this. At this point, it's time for a change. It's time to say, take the broom, sweep the trash away. Stop with watching Twitch. I mean it. Stop watching people on Twitch. Stop broadcasting on Twitch. Leave Twitch. This is toxic for gaming. This is toxic for content creation. This is just toxic for human existence. You get it? The fact that this site is allowed to operate like this as a business is harmful to humanity as a whole. This man and his actions hurt humanity as a whole. Time to wake up. Instead of just listening to Twitch is the place to be, man. Twitch is the cool place. No, it's not. It hasn't been for a very long time. Their entire mentality changed. They started being so underhanded with the way that they do things, the way that they handle issues. There's no consistency. There's no fairness there. There's no real profitability. But people just believe what they're told. Get out now. Go do something right for yourself. If you're a streamer on Twitch, do something right for yourself. Grab all your community with you and say, listen, if you actually like me and my community, and this content that I stand for, we cannot be on the site anymore. They have now shown directly through their actions, they don't care about anything but money. It's time to leave. And that's what needs to happen, because a place like that will never improve if they keep getting business. And they do. People keep every day. I can't wait to be a partnered streamer on Twitch. I'm celebrating. I finally made it. I'm partnered on Twitch. You're an idiot. No, you're actually stupid. Because you're giving that man money. That guy right there. Do you think he deserves a penny of your money? The guy who doesn't care about you or anything. Okay. Anyway, sorry about that. Had to rant a little bit, but I mean, I've been talking about Twitch for years about what a horrendous business they are. What an awful place they are for anything. You don't want to be there. That's toxic shit. Like, that's the definition of toxic shit. And people don't listen. They just believe, oh, well, I was told it's the best place to stream. It's the worst. It's actually the worst. You won't get discoverability. You won't get views. You won't make money there. They take half your money. Okay. All right. Well, that's one topic done. Let's do some shit. Constantly get your ear. You know, there's probably a reason why. Like, what is going on? I've had people who I've literally never spoken a word to. All right? Try to reach me for 2 years straight and be like, I just don't understand why you don't talk to me. Well, because you're weird. Because you're acting like you're obsessed, like you're a weirdo. Okay? I said this, I've told this story before. Back in the day, I had a fan that I know for a fact was like, and this is long ago. This was like early days of YouTube, first few years that I was making content. I had a fan who became like romantically obsessed with me. Okay? And I had to just break it to them as honestly as I could. I was like, this is a fantasy you're having. This is never going to become a reality in any circumstance. I have to tell you this now because I want you to understand that. I don't want you to ever have a misunderstanding or misconception of something or an expectation that something's going to happen. It never will. That's unhealthy for you, and you should move on if that's the case. And that's actually what happened is eventually that person just split off from the community, moved on, and never spoke to me again, which is probably better for them. If they were to that level of obsession, where they were having romantic, crazy thoughts, then yeah, you should. You should do a cold split is the best thing you can do. So stuff like that, I would say. Lucky for me, I've never actually had anyone escalate anything to the realm of physical. And that's a good thing. And maybe that's one of the best choices I ever made was living where I live in a private community, being a private person that keeps to himself, doesn't go to conventions, doesn't do this kind of shit. Because who knows what would happen, especially today with the way that things have changed. You never know. It's not like it used to be back in the day when it was like safe to do shit anymore. People are nuts. There's an entire generation of people who have grown up online for 100% of their life. Since they were children, they were online. Online communities, online discussions, online videos, online streams, online gaming, online this, online that. Their whole life is online. That's so weird to me because I grew up offline. It wasn't until I was in my mid to late teens that the online existence even began. So for me, I had a whole human existence before everything went digital. And then when everything went digital, now all of a sudden there's all these social communities and things you join and be a part of. And basically now I feel like there are people who are just so disconnected from reality. They actually believe that their online existence is the most important thing. It's not. That's what I keep telling you guys too. Like when people say, well, I don't understand, Phil. How can you keep it up? How can you keep going the way you do? With so many people talking shit about you online every day. I said, because you just said it because it's online. The moment that I disconnect my internet and I'm spending time with my wife or we're going out and we're doing stuff, none of that online shit matters ever. It doesn't mean a thing. That's so disconnected from the real life here. But a lot of people think that's real life. No, that's a computer. That's a computer screen. This is my real life. My person here, what I'm doing with my wife, what we're having fun, that's real life. Not the virtual relationship that you have with the streamer. That's not your real life. That's what you do with some of your free time. That shouldn't be the focus of your life. That parasocialism is way crazy and out of control. You see what I'm saying? And I think there's a lot of people who don't understand that. These are the people who they're into this toxic culture of online, either obsession or hatred. It's one or the other. You like something so much you're obsessed with it because you love it, or you're obsessed with it because you hate it. Either way is equally toxic. And either way, you're messing your mind up. You are, because that's not real. It's not real at all. It's just a virtual thing your mind made up to make you, maybe because you didn't have anything in real life. Maybe you don't have any real life friends. You don't have activities you do in real life, nothing you like to do, right? So now online becomes your entire presence. That's sad. Online is fine in moderation, just like everything else in life. If you live eternally online, 100%, your life is fucked. And you need to actually realize this, look in the mirror, be like, oh my God, I'm online 24/7. There's a problem there. There's a major problem there. You've got to make a split. You've got to start doing things for yourself, a real life. That's the best way, I'm telling you. Because let me tell you, it used to be like that for me. When I was a YouTuber, my whole life was online, and look what happened. My real life friendships, they splintered, they broke apart. I lost friends because I was eternally online, all content. Right now, I've made that distinction. No. When I turn off this PC, when I'm off stream, that's the line between me and my real life. And my real life is more meaningful to me than my online presence. I'm sorry, it just is. I love my wife more than this. If it ever became, I have to, make a choice between an online presence or my wife wins. Okay? So, it's that simple. But a lot of people can't even do this. Like, well, my whole life is just online. There will ever be the split. That's fucked. That's really, messed up. Seriously.
Click.